friends, family, loved ones, enemies, contributors, distractors. This is Kevin Lewis on the Blueprint. And this week I have two guests on. I have Mr. Michael Williams.
Michael Johnson.
I'm sorry, Michael Johnson. I don't know why I'm thinking of Williams.
That's cool.
Maybe I'm watching basketball. I got Michael Johnson. And I got Sonia Jones.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about relationship issues or relationships period, whether it's issues or not. And so we're going to get this started. And how did we arrive to this point that we're talking about relationships?
I think you and I were having a conversation about a week ago about relationships.
Yeah, I had bought this shirt from you, your design.
Yeah, Gym is Life.
Gym is Life. And if y'all want one, y'all could contact my man, Michael Johnson.
Michael Johnson.
And
the link should be out there. Let me give you my number. You want it? You can text me. We can chat. Number is area code 210-373-0459.
Okay.
Appreciate the shout out.
And I'm gonna plug that one more time before we get up out of here in case y'all want to write it down. Y'all wasn't prepared. Y'all can run the show back again. And I am welcoming any comments. Anybody got anything to say? And we got Mrs. Jones on here, and she decided she wanted in on this conversation because me and you, what were you saying about last week? I came to get a shirt, and we just started chopping it up.
Yeah, we just started chopping it up about relationships and how men view it, how maybe women view some of the positives and negatives about being with your own race and dating outside your race.
Okay.
I don't think we got into why men cheat and stuff like that. You know, that's a conversation.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
Like, I mean, Sonya want to chime in about that. You know, we can get into that, but
I'm here to balance it all out. That's all. Just to make sure.
And you had called me.
Yeah, I called you today because whenever I'm thinking of something about, especially when it comes to relationships, you know, I like to bounce ideas off of you. So I'll give you a call and say, you know what, Kevin, I heard this. And
she just complained. She just called
and hear your male perspective. I think that Kevin has a pretty rational and fair male perspective. So.
All right.
This is not like a male bashing or like a female bashing.
Yeah,
This is just a discussion.
It's a perspective
about how we feel about relationships and maybe what somebody on the outside looking in will see or realize or their thought process.
Yeah, just a discussion. Hopefully it's thought provoking, make us think about it so that, you know, when we're into relationships, you know, we go more intentionally in it, you know, and just kind of know what we're doing and what we're dealing with.
Right.
So I'm gonna ask a question then, since you said that. Do you think that y'all were prepared to deal with the opposite sex coming up? Prepared as in like your environment, your household, influences. Did you have anyone that prepared you to deal with what you eventually found out about the opposite sex?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Trial and error.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
So you just feeling your way through it. Do you think that's the way most of the men are? I mean, leaning towards like the people you know, friends you have. Do you think that all your friends coming up, y'all were just feeling y'all way through it?
I mean, I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there was no man and woman in the home. There was not, you know, at that time coming up, you know, trying to learn things about women. You know, there was no one that we can go talk to.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know, this girl is doing this or whatever. We didn't have that influence to help us out. The only influence I had was my older brother, but I mean, he was.
How much older?
He's 4 years older than I am. Yeah, but he was kind of all over the place, and I thought that was normal.
Okay.
You
He was
know,
all over the place with dealing with women? or just
All right, my brother, I love my brother,
yeah.
but my brother had multiple women and doing, things, and I thought that was normal. It's like, hey, have 3 girlfriends or 4 girlfriends, or just go to this person's house for an hour and stuff like that. That's what I thought was normal.
Okay.
And I mean, obviously,
Basically womanizing was normal.
And I didn't want to say that.
That
Well, in
was
our
the cool
community,
thing.
sometimes there was a cultural norm where there was sharing, especially as kids, because people didn't know. So it was not. I was speaking with another friend that was saying, it was not uncommon for them to, have multiple girlfriends, because they didn't have the significance of relationship. They were just like being kids still,
Right. So that was the main thing that I was going to hit on. The reason I started, because on my notes, when I was just thinking there's going to be a man-to-man discussion, because the way I see it, as starting off as young men, I put it in the young boy classification. You just now finding out, and your examples and experiences in your household mainly, then it branches out. Many of us in the black community, we coming up in single parent households, or maybe not a good example period if it is a nuclear household. So I think a lot of times where we find ourselves at through that journey is because we didn't have a good foundation. Something that didn't teach us the right way to deal with man and woman relationships. That's what I think. That's how I see it, because I try to psychoanalyze, I'm thinking of it psychologically. From the beginning, I don't think that, I came up in a nuclear household, and I saw my mom and my dad, healthy relationship, and somewhere things still went awry. So
I think it's a lot about not knowing about who you are. You can't go and try to be in a relationship when you don't have the self-confidence, you don't have whatever you need to feel good about you. Right. And so I think that's very problematic. We're trying to go and be part of something else, make this unity, but we're feeling not complete or insecure or insufficient from whatever we've encountered in life.
You think that's more prevalent in women?
I think it's both. I think that the weight is heavier in men. I think that it's more accepted for a woman to be struggling with self-actualization than it is for men, because a man is supposed to be this leader, the head, and then you have this man who's kind of lost, don't know where his place is, what he wants to do, and but he wants to be in a relationship.
Okay, but as younger people, as a young man, the reason I was asking you, do you think that's more prevalent? Because we don't know, we don't know what our responsibilities are as far as relationships. We just know that's a girl. I want that girl. I want to talk to that girl. I don't know how I'm going to talk.
What you want from that girl?
I want her to be my girlfriend at a young man age, at a young boy age.
And what
I don't
does that
mean? Trying to talk to a girl, you stumble, because what dudes don't say when they're a young boy, they don't say that they was nervous, scared to talk to a girl. And I think that's for both boys and girls. They don't know how to socialize, interact. Girls socialize with girls, great. Boys socialize with some boys, great. We get in our cliques, we find a friend, we find people that we kick it with, then the other groups become adversarial. We don't have one big group. We just get a friend or a couple of friends and we hang out together. Then everyone else is opposition. And then when we want to talk to girls, you got to front because you with a group of dudes, because we got to lead. Most of the time girls ain't going to just, if they do like you, they going to go like kick you, throw a rock at you when they're young, try to get your attention or just be loud.
When you say you have to front, what is that? What are you talking about?
Now, I'm going to get into the lie. It's two big lies. The lies that men lead and the lies that society lead for women.
Okay.
And women lead that lie and that goes up for longer. But and I probably men's do too, but with men. But I think with boys, everyone wants to be cool. Everyone wants to be the man. No one's gonna say, "Man, I like her. I'm scared to talk to her though." You'll get laughed at. You know?
Right.
So you gonna act like you the man, and you gonna try to be cool and try to, but you're not gonna. It's like if y'all to dance, like middle school, whatever, they start having dances.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of awkward for you, and probably on both sides, because if it's not the ideal guy for that girl, they're gonna say, "Oh, he's asking her to dance," and it's gonna be pressure on her, because if he's not the desirable person, I'm not gonna be the one to dance with him.
Yeah, because but you're still worried about other people's
That's
opinion.
what I'm saying. That's how kids are.
That's how adults are too.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, adults sometimes, even though they get older, they don't mature until the next stage, because I think it goes in stages. To once you actually mature as a person, you're not worried about what everybody else is thinking. But some people never graduate to that point.
Right.
So I'm saying the pressure on the young dude, it's like, okay, I want to dance with her. Everybody gonna know I want to dance with her.
Yeah.
And
it's like, as a boy, you're not gonna be like, I'm gonna go up to her and ask Sonya to dance. It's like, hey man, I'm gonna Sonya, how do you think she look, man? Because you looking for the affirmation from your buddies. And then like your buddies are like, oh man, Sonya got a mole on her neck. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
we go tell our friends to ask him. Go tell him I want to dance.
Give a paper.
Yeah, we'll have a friend go ask him.
Yeah, with boys it's like, oh man, Sonya, and I'm just using your name. Like, oh man, her birth stink on Tuesdays. Nah, man, I want to talk to her. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I like her.
Yeah.
But they don't like her, so I'm not gonna talk to her.
And you're gonna be the same way. Like, man, I'll just ask him. Fine,
Yeah, oh man, I just wanted to see, man, what y'all think.
Yeah.
And
that's the awkwardness. Like when you're a kid, because we don't know how to interact.
Yeah.
No one sits you down and be like, even in a nuclear household, no one says, okay, you want to dance with this girl, or they'll tease you about it. Even your, uncles or whatever, people will tease you. You like that little girl, or you like that boy, or da. It's like that. No one says, well, you know what, lays things down and give you a blueprint. This is, this is normal. This is what you're supposed to do. Right. This is how you're supposed to go about it.
Yeah, in certain households, probably like if you had a supportive father, or a positive father figure, maybe your mom, kind of help you build that confidence to talk to whoever you wanted to talk to.
Yeah, right.
And I'm gonna say me. I mean, I didn't start expressing myself toward women until, man, I was probably in my 20s, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Why do you think it took so long? Confidence or comfort?
Both, probably.
And I would say that you probably did it in other ways. You probably did not go directly to say, hi, I'm Michael, and I want to meet you, but you probably was trying to impress women in other ways, athletically, musically, however, whatever you thought as your talent, you were trying to show your feathers or whatever, some other kind of way, instead of just directly, because directly takes that maturity and it takes the confidence. Right. And so that's the thing we're not using.
Right.
You're going, like, I'm going to use this.
I want to know, why you laugh when she said musically, Mike?
Because, man, several years ago, man, we were doing the music thing, right?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, see,
let me say this. This is Doc K. Right?
Okay.
I'm Chili Mike. And my brother was Schizo. And I was looking over there, and there's a CD that we did.
Yeah.
And there was one song on there called Crime Wars.
Yeah.
And when people heard that CD, that last verse, they were always, who was that? Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
that's me. Yeah, I got the flow like that. And oh my God. And it was like, yeah,
Was it
just doing
guys
my own
saying,
thing.
"Oh my God," or was it girls?
Yeah, I mean, because it was
Guys were like, oh man, that song is tight, man. The beat is good and the flow is good and stuff like that. But when women heard it, from the few that I was around, that last verse, they were like, who is that? I was like, oh, that's me.
yeah, that's how he was flexing like that. And I was gonna ask you, man, because you talking about you was on 2 songs with me
Yeah,
at Lunatic Records,
yeah,
and the other one was Lucci.
yeah.
I didn't know the reason that's out. I don't be just having. I had to look for that, but I was gonna play it as an intro to music.
Oh, really?
And I was gonna trip you out with that. But anyway, that's why I laughed. Then you start laughing when she said music.
Yeah,
I'm like, why you laughing?
That was then around that time it was like, yeah, I'm on the song. I'm doing a little something.
Yeah.
I write something down. Holler if you want to go to the studio, or holler if you want a disc or something like that. And it was like, okay.
Yeah.
And it was like,
So you was doing other things to impress girls. I think that's normal, because something that was said to me, I heard my mom say about my older cousins and friends that was older than me, and they would come by and they'd start keeping themselves better kept, keeping their hair combed, and she said, yeah, he into girls now. And I'd be like, what? And it's like, it's like, yeah. I mean, that you'll know.
But you'll know that on both sides. I mean, girls, they do the same thing. They'll try to change their hair, look more presentable, yeah, kind of.
Worry about how they're being seen, and they want that one person to see them. I'm gonna read it.
Chewing gum and using perfume.
Yeah, it's like I want to go to the barbershop.
You used to see young dudes like, man, comb your hair, man, like, dude, like, pull up. Now it's like, then it's all of a sudden they doing it on their own. Then you already,
it's like, you patting your fro down and stuff, back then or whatever, and I guess I'm telling myself, it's like, I'm gonna take a shower every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody had to be telling you and dragging you to the bathroom.
It's like, I'm gonna do it on my own. What are you doing? I'm finna go take a shower. Why? I smell, you know what I'm saying? But, in middle school and stuff like that, I mean, man, it was beauty at King.
Yeah.
When I was coming up. I mean, it was beauty. And then I started to recognize beauty.
Yeah. Right.
And I was like, man, if I want to, meet someone that looks like her, I have to change myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then even in high school, I went to a few high schools and stuff like that. And even then, it was like, I see this girl, and it's like, I'm going to wear the different shirt. I'm going to iron it.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To try to help build that confidence, that self-confidence and stuff like that. But as far as approaching and actually being like, hey, how you doing? My name is Michael. Your name is, nice to meet you, and stuff like that. Man, it took a while to get like that.
Because and what was happening, it was a Mac. Man, you don't know how to Mac. Everybody would use that. Man, you don't know how to holler. You don't know how to. So you had to come up with fancy lines and things like that, which was basically BS. Because all you got to do is, like you just said.
And that wasn't me.
Right.
That wasn't.
You got to have that. And I talked to my my homeboy like that, because I had 2 personas. I had Doc, and then I had Kevin.
Yeah.
And when I wasn't in the studio, like, I put on that Doc stuff when I wanted to be cool and I wanted to impress,
right,
like a woman or something. It's like, yeah, I gotta change. It's almost like changing clothes.
Yeah.
But really, I was quiet, shy, black. But no, I couldn't tell my homeboys that.
Yeah.
Or you wouldn't say that, but that's how that was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read a few comments first before we get back. JD Lou said, "We do what we're taught or sing growing up. For a lot of us, until we grow up to figure out what we really want." I appreciate that comment. He also said, as we get older, it's a load to be in a marriage versus being a single man. You have to move in in a team, which is a lot different than moving as a single man. I appreciate that comment. We're going to get into that also.
And he was spot on with that. You know, that
Yeah.
first comment. You know, you base what you do on what you see. You
Right.
know, and stuff like that.
And I imagine
I
it should
would-
be harder. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I would venture to say that men and boys, that's one of the reasons that they kind of like superheroes, because, you know, just like what Superman had Clark Kent. And so you introduce you use Superman in front of everybody, but then, you know, it has to be something intimate or personal for you are comfortable enough to show the weaknesses of Clark. You know, that's not something that you just openly do. And just like, you know, for you to say that you had Doc, who had all this confidence and strength, and, you know, just like he can be on the forefront, but Kevin was that vulnerability, you know, that it's just not taught for men to show or express that.
Yeah, especially younger men, all the way up. I'm like adolescents. And like you said, the Clark Kent, the dynamics of that, and I don't think men get to that point, because I don't, and I'm talking about men that I know in my lifetime. I don't have very few male friends that ever came up to me and said, "Man, you know, I got a problem with this," or "I got a problem with my woman," or it may be complaining. Man, she get on my damn nerves.
Yeah.
She always, but it's like nobody says, "Man, you know, hey." I think women do that. Women, y'all confide in each other like,
But see, like the pressure is not on us to have it all together. That's
Right.
part of us. Oh, they're emotional creatures, you know. So a man always presents this "I got it all together" thing, because any type or slight away from that, then something's wrong with you.
Yeah,
You know,
the
you
thing
weak,
is,
you know.
the
You know,
ego.
And I'm gonna say this: when you said that women are emotional creatures, okay?
That's just a saying.
Right.
Nah, it's true.
This is my
It's
opinion.
not.
And I'm gonna say this: men and women are emotional creatures, but as a man, we're taught not to show weakness.
So we're saying emotions are weakness.
Well,
With
we don't
men.
show weak. I'm gonna put it like everyone's emotional,
Right.
But I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna interject on this. You have different type of emotions that we could show. We show anger. We default a lot of our hurt to anger. We default a lot of our misunderstandings or inadequacies to anger.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't sit there. Because around your homeboys, you can't cry. It's not just like we're not taught, because if you sit there and cry and you with your mans in them and they like, man, and it's like, what's wrong with dude, man? He whooped. You know?
It's like I can't come over here and be like, "Man, Kevin, man," you know. It's like, man, what this dude? What weak?
Yeah, because
You know,
that's
what's
like,
wrong
dude,
with
like,
women can do that, or women do
yeah,
that.
they do
but
that.
Men can't show that weaker side of themselves.
Not even with family. Like, you could say, okay,
Right.
this my cousin, this my blah, blah, blah. And they going to look at you like, I mean, I've been in situations like homeboys that was like going through separations with their wife and dude crying. I'm like, I'm not going to hug you. I mean,
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like, man, what you doing, man? Go take that somewhere else, man. Don't bring that over here.
yeah.
You know,
But-
we can't
And
do that.
I would. That's part of the problems that we have even today. Once you reach manhood, is because then you have this anger, because you don't know how to deal with yourself emotionally, and you don't know how to respond to certain things, and so hence we have a lot of natural consequences, such as men being abusive, men
Right.
leaving the home, men having multiple women, because you're acting out this anger in different ways, because you can't just openly express it and not be seen weak.
See, I don't think it's just the anger, because like Mike was saying, you was doing that as an example of just being cool. That's cool to you. You might not even be mad at nobody, or have anything wrong. But the thing is, we're taught having a bunch of women is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like you see they talk about Russell Wilson. He a square. You know, you even hear other football players because he got a wife. He doing good with his wife. He doing business with his wife. He giving her diamonds and stuff like that. And they like he a square. You know, because that's not the rapper thing to do. That's not the bravado thing to do. And I think that society, 007 was supposed to be the coolest white dude out there for them. And in every 007 movie, he's smashing some chick.
Right.
And it's not, so he got multiple women. He's not a family man. He's not coming home to his wife and saying, okay, yeah, hey, I got this tough mission. And blah. It's like, yeah, you know, I'm
like
end up.
You see Russell Wilson now. I mean, me by seeing Russell Wilson, man, he's kind of like that. You know, that person that he's a role model.
Right. He should be. Yeah. To most of us,
in relationships and stuff like that. I mean, he has a wife. He has children. He's a professional athlete, but he still makes time to see his wife. And
right.
If he shows up and she's somewhere, she just lights up.
Right. He got her walking around glowing.
Right.
And that should be your purpose. But and he knocks out a couple of things because he got a kid with her that's not his, and he's with her too.
Right. And he's showing that kid that I'm gonna say that child is not his. He's showing that child how to be a man.
Right.
Whereas his own father, I mean, I think I was reading he has like 8 kids with 8 different women and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, and like I say, that whole thing of what's cool with men is not just about emotions and anger, because that's being taught in society that womanizing is the way to go. So when you're a young dude and you see a girl, you like her, people will tease you about that. Man, you whoop, you in love, aha, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I think that it's just men don't even know the definition of manhood, and I think that is like an individual definition. It's not something that we know as a society. That's just kind of personal. I can ask you two guys and you probably would have a different definition as according to you what manhood is. I mean, if you look it up, it's probably simple. Okay, a man that's not a child no more, a boy, a male that's not a child. But manhood encompasses a lot of things, and including relationships, because you should be an adult when you're having the responsibilities of a relationship, a family, a woman. And I think that that's one of the big challenges for men, because today it's a whole different.
Yeah, it's not defined. I'm going to get back to that manhood. We're going to talk about the definition of manhood, but I'm going to read a few comments.
Okay.
Coretta said, hell yeah. Hey y'all. I'm sorry. She said, hey y'all. JD Love Fam. Sharon Simpson Anderson said, Hotep, I appreciate you. She arrived late. And she said, yes, men have been taught to be strong, not show emotion, weakness, but they need to. And somebody named Sydney Jones said, hey, mommy looking good.
Thanks, Boo.
And the day showed up. I appreciate you showing up. She said, hey, y'all. And JD said, society says real men don't cry, but that's a long, complicated conversation. Men, we really don't know how to express ourselves, and we compartmentalize issues and put them on the back burner. And he said, very big conversation. You should open up one day. All right, I appreciate that comment, cuz, and I appreciate everyone showing up. And Sydney says, speaking facts, so smart. Of course, that's directed to her mom, but we on here too, Sydney. But
I think Sydney was talking about me. Just, saying.
Now, manhood, the definition of manhood. I think by the manhood not being defined in our culture.
I think it's misdefined in our culture.
I don't think I think people think manhood as far as when you're dealing with men what I think also with the problem with manhood, the definition is it's not defined in a relationship.
Right. It's
It's
defined
not-
as maybe body parts or
Or
adults or
being hard
sex.
is you don't let nobody talk to you like this, or you don't being, that's part of manhood is sucking it up and not being crying or heartbroken and stuff like that. Come
Yeah,
on,
not
be a man.
falling for anybody.
Right, and I think those macho definitions of manhood, I think it's misdefined, because I think the real thing or a definition of manhood should be how you taking care of yourself and your family. And I used to do something with my son that's coming up. I used to ask him, I think I heard it on the song where somebody said something, he said, "You a man?" or something. But I used to tell my son, like, what's your responsibility as a man? And I used to say this every once in a while. And he was like, to provide and protect. He probably didn't know what that even meant. But I wanted to put that in his head. Your definition of being a man is to provide and to protect your family. And I think as you get older, you start to venture out to protect your community. But we have very few men that think outside of their own household or their own relationship in their own selves. Because a lot of times I think we get a woman, like I was probably talking to you earlier. I think as a young man, we are very selfish as young men. It's a me thing. We want a woman because either we want her to be mine, or we want just some of that woman. We want a part of that woman. We want a piece of that woman. Once you mature and you say, okay, if she's going to be with me, then I got responsibilities, like JD was saying. I got responsibilities other than just my wants and my needs. I have responsibilities, and I got to give and take with her wants and needs. I got to understand her better. A lot of us don't mature to that point. It stays divided. It's just how I feel.
And what about the approach of the relationship? Because many times a relationship requires reciprocity. That means I do this and you do that. But when you have a woman that says, okay, I got my own house, I got my own car, I got my own money, I got my own food in the refrigerator, so what do I need from you? I don't need you, but so as a man, I don't know how men feel to that. If it's anger, if it's fear, if it's insecure, when the provide and protect. I have my own guns too, so what do you supposed to do? And I think that a lot of guys are confused, or even just, I guess, not confident when they're coming with a woman or coming to a woman and she makes more money.
And she's complete.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say complete.
She's not
she got
complete,
her stuff.
but she's a little, she has all of this going on. So you're coming in and you're like, if you taught your son provide and protect, okay, and you don't feel that you're needed in the providing, you know what I mean? So where is that? What is that play?
You want to hit that first, Mike?
I mean, I'm gonna say this: if a woman has her stuff together, that's a turn off for me, because I don't want to take care of a woman.
Right.
Woman has her own house, plus her own car, plus she makes more money than me, plus.
Right.
I mean,
and she can put you out, plus.
And see, that's the whole purpose.
She's going to put you out whenever she wants to.
You're going to go deep into that.
I mean, it goes both ways, though,
She can put you out.
I mean, it goes both ways with that. So it's like, if you at her house and something happens, the man leave. The man at, the woman at the man house, something happens, leave. I mean, I don't see that as a weakness.
No, I don't. No,
I mean,
it ain't a weakness when you got a house to go to.
Yeah,
I'm not intimidated by that.
Yeah, no, it's some men that are.
Yeah.
Because mainly, I mean, they'll see it as a plus, but what also happens is, like any little thing that happens, she could be like, I could do good without you. They're emotional creatures.
Yeah.
And something get mad, give me your phone. I want to go through your phone. Nah, you ain't. Get out.
Get out my house.
If I
And
can't
then
go,
see Miss Independent like that.
Yeah.
If you know, let me go through your phone. What? Why?
Yeah.
Get out. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm done.
but
Yeah.
see, that's design.
And then you
say
can't even be the, you come in and you want to kind of discipline and run things, but those ain't your kids. She already had them. So you can't even tell them nothing. So what? What
right.
do you do as a man?
I'm gonna get into that now. What you said with that, the provide and
What you do
protect
as a
part of that,
man,
because
you
I'm
just kind of, you adapt to that situation. You got your kids. Yeah, you raise your kids. How you gonna raise your kids? If I go over,
You can't be in a relationship if it's your kids. If it's like that, and then a man and you hear my son cursing me out or talking crazy to me, and you're my man, and you sit back and say, "Those are your kids."
that's how you
Then
raise
I'm
that.
putting
dude.
you out again.
yeah,
I'm putting you out again.
that's how you raise your kids.
See, that's how you raise your
But
kids.
no, okay,
Right, because
Now,
you have to look at it. Okay, if my son was talking back to his mom and cursing around and stuff like that, then yeah, it's my job to say, hey man, what you doing? Right? He's raised a certain way. But Sydney, if you are cussing and fussing at your mom and stuff, that's how you have designed your child to be. So like if I say, hey Sydney, you need to chill out.
no, hey, damn it, Sydney.
Yeah, it's like, if I tell Sydney, hey, don't be talking to your mom like that,
And then I'm saying, don't be saying nothing to my baby.
Right. And then you got to deal with the dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she gonna be like, you know what, mom, he need to go.
It's
Yeah, that's a
bunch
you
of
put
stuff
yourself
that
in-
can happen
now.
in that.
All right, let me get
Yes, that part of it, right?
Let me get into the provide and protect for somebody that feel like they're already being provided. They could provide for themselves and protect themselves. All right. If I'm taking that responsibility from you, you could have you a little whatever gun you have. You know what I'm saying?
Yours
But
is
the
bigger.
thing is, and I'm gonna put it like this: you got your you got your kids, right? I'm coming to be that umbrella over you and your kids, right? So it's situations that I could say that I be in, and the woman may have a young man, young adult male sons or whatever, and I can assure them, bro, you know what? You ain't got to worry about anything going on between like happening. You know how they be trying to be like, well, who is this dude?
Protecting their mom.
And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna protect your mom. It ain't nothing that's gonna happen to her that ain't gonna happen to me. I would die for that. You know what I'm saying? I would die before she's gonna come home safe regardless. If I'm in your household, I'm the first line of protection. You could have all the protection you think you want to have, but I'm gonna be that first line of defense, because once I become the man of that household, that's my responsibility. And because you could sit there and say, well, okay, somebody's coming in. If you want it to be like that, well, okay, I'm gonna sit there and be like, oh, this your house. What you gonna do?
Right.
But it's gonna be it's not gonna be like that regardless, because I'm gonna be, you know what? I got this. If somebody's gonna end up dying, it's gonna be me. You ain't gotta put your life on the line. My life is on the line ahead of y'all lives. So that's what I mean by provide and protect. When you become that man to say that I'm gonna provide, and if she's making more money than me, I'm not worried about your money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about that unless I need some woman to be taking care of me, and I'm not going to put myself in that predicament. It is some guys like that. They think it's a bonus and a plus. Her money don't mean anything to me, because I'm not going to be splitting bills with her or meals with her or anything like that. If we're going out to eat, then I got this. And I want your kids to understand that I got this, so they could sit up and learn from how a man is supposed to be.
Right.
And I want her to learn, and if she's not willing to learn, then I'm like, you know what, this is not gonna work.
That's not the situation
because you wanna take the lead in this dance.
Right.
And if you can't understand, all that stuff should be discussed when a woman has kids and y'all are starting to get to that serious point about with being together. y'all got to have discussions about the kids.
Right.
And how that woman or how that person reacts about this is my kids or what I allow you to do, because I'm gonna be like this is what I'm about. He's 14. We gotta start instilling these type of responsibilities into him and prepare him for life like this. If she wants him under the skirt, I don't want him doing this, then that's not a situation that's gonna be favorable for me, and I might not have issues with her. But that's as far as we could go, because we're not going to take it to another level when we're talking about how we're going to interact with the kids.
But unfortunately, it's mostly the way it works is that the guy will come in and say, those are your kids.
Yeah.
And the girl, and the woman too, because women have problems sometimes when you have your own kids.
Right.
And they'll come in and say, well, I'll let them burn the kitchen up because those are your kids. That's the way you do it. But that's not a unit. That's not a relationship.
But if it
starts like that though, so like if me and
you,
like if me and you, okay, me and you a date. I go to your house. Sydney comes in, Mom, I'm finna go. I'm finna leave, and says, cusses you out, takes the car and go. Right. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna be like, oh man, I should say something because that's not the way it's supposed to be. But if it's a couple years in and stuff and we built something, right? We started here, now we're here, and if Sydney comes in, Mama, take the car, da-da-da-da-da. It's like, wait a minute, hold on. You ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna talk to your mom like that.
I see what you're saying.
You're not gonna disrespect nobody and it's not my house. Is ours, because
so you're talking after you're saying initially, right, like there's no real relationship,
right? I mean, you got to build that, come to that point to where you could, because you saying like women act,
but we said relationship, so I thought I mean,
relationship is, I mean, it's where does stages.
It start?
Yeah, I mean, it's a starting point in a relationship, and then you build.
But then when you see how a woman acts with her kids, I can get to a point. I see how somebody act with their kids, and I'm like, this ain't gonna work with me. And I'll be like, well, this really ain't going to, I'm not going to try to take it farther than, so I'm only going to take that so far, because I'm not going to be in a point, because then if I'm voicing something, I'm not going to sit up there and interject, but I'm like, you shouldn't be doing this. You got to be
respectful and stuff. Yeah. But then if you interject,
I'm saying, I'm talking about with the mom. I'm talking about not with the kid yet. But I'm saying if I see something happening with the mom and the son, and they're gonna know what kind of man I am.
Right.
And I'm gonna be like, well, hey, and then if they come to me, well, this happened with school, or this happened, I'm gonna be like, well, you know what? As a man, as him being a man, blah blah blah. If she's welcoming that conversation, entertaining it, and then she's willing to go with that, then I'm gonna know. If she's not, and she's gonna take things and do her own things and the way she want to do it, and I'm going up to the school because they fussing at my son and these kids trying to bully me, you know what? All right, well, you gonna handle that, you know what I'm saying? But if you want me to give you any kind of advice, you want me to talk to him, then you let me know.
Right.
But if she's not receptive to that and she wants to be like that, my kid stuff, because I've seen somebody send me a video, and it was a man and a woman. And her son, he's like 18. And the guy was at the table eating or reading and whatever. And the boy came in and he said, man, you 18 now. He said, it's about time for you to start looking into getting out this house. You graduated 6 months ago and blah, blah. He running it down like that. You need to start getting you a job and start looking. And the mom came in there like, he ain't got to be going nowhere. If anybody going to go anywhere, you going to go somewhere. Somebody sent me that, and I said, well, the problem with that, he said, and his thing was targeting the woman, because she was like, you're not just going to tell him he going to get out on the streets. That's my son. If anybody going to be out between you, it's going to be you. So, but my thing is, that's not the woman. That's that man's fault, because when you got into that situation, y'all should have had some type of understanding and agreement. Right. If he was 16 years old at the time, well, this is how we gonna raise him, and we gonna prepare him to where I'm not gonna have to be telling him to get a job, and he gonna be wanting to, and all that moving out stuff. If that's the type of dude you are, then she should have known that when you got with her.
Right.
And if she wasn't down with that, then y'all shouldn't even got to that situation. Y'all shouldn't even got there. But I'm saying the meeting part, the greeting part, the understanding part, getting to know you part, getting to know me part, that's the thing that a lot of people are missing, because they looking for certain things that they need, and they just fill in those gaps and not looking at the big picture.
Big picture, yeah.
So that's how I see that.
Right.
You know.
Right, and it's I don't really go for that number about moving out. So that would be, I think that's another thing. You raise your kids you help them with what they need, not with.
But you meet a man, you meet a guy. When do that become the conversation point?
That's initial. Whenever I meet somebody, I think that's like a big topic of my conversation.
Well, people don't say you got kids.
My kids, that comes out first. So I don't know how that's missed. Because
right. But I'm saying you can say, people say I got kids and I do this, but then I'm talking about the intimacy of that kid being at home, and
Yeah, but see, sometimes that conversation can be had, like, oh, Sydney's gonna go to college, she's gonna do this, she's gonna do that. But see, that man is programmed or brought up, to say, okay, you 18, it's time to go. Even if y'all had that conversation, or even if that man and woman had that conversation, his programming is still, you 18, it's time to go.
Yeah, because people get in relationship and they think they could change things, and they see things that's not tolerable to them.
Right.
They may be like, okay, I'm trying to get with her. I'm trying to get with him.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they'll say the right things, and that ain't really how they feel.
Right.
Yeah,
see, like with a relationship, let me add this. Not on the topic of like kids or anything and stuff like that. So it's like if I do decide, or if it comes to where I meet somebody, certain things we're going to talk about, kids and certain expectations, but then I'm not going to tell a woman what some of my expectations are, because of what, that woman is going to be like, oh, well, on Tuesdays, right, he likes to go outside and cut the grass, and I make sure or this, he likes to go, over the dock house, and work out and stuff like that, or, let's go to the gym. But then, like you said, things change, and it's like, well, why you got to go to the gym so much? Why you going over Doc House? I don't like his attitude. Certain things you leave out to, I guess, get the real person that you talking to and stuff like that.
Let me interject on this. I want to get on. I never tell people when they say, well, tell me what you like, or tell me. Why would I tell you?
Exactly.
If you're going to play that role, if you're going to just try to, put on that costume just to act like, where I'm pro-black, and all of a sudden you got a Malcolm X shirt on.
Right.
And you ain't had, I'm gonna find that person. Right. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta just, and the women do that. I'm gonna tell y'all, don't do that. Don't sit up there when the dude sit up there and tell me what you like, what you looking for in a man. Oh, I'm gonna let you play the role. Like, you want the script? Because you're going to try to play that role if that's what he wants. Oh, I'm looking for a man that's independent. Yeah, I'm very independent. I'm looking for a man that's out there to provide and protect. Oh, 100. He going to do whatever he going to say. But what you do is you let him play himself out.
Right.
And then if he going to fit that bill, then he going to be the one. If he not fitting that bill, then it's like, it ain't working. That's whatever, So I don't tell women. I don't be like, well, exactly. A woman got to be like this. If you not like, don't worry about what I'm looking for.
Exactly.
I'm looking to get to know you.
Right. I want to see the real you. Not this, actress. That's coming and I'm a cook every day. Ooh,
Because then after a while, that's what happened in relationships. Oh, you was doing all this at first.
Right. Right. Okay, why you ain't cooking now? I ain't cook for yourself.
I'm tired of cooking.
Go to McDonald's. And it's like, oh man, this is not what I signed up for. This is not what you presented when we first started dating, talking, married, or
great actor. You was a great actress. I'm gonna give you.
And it's like the Oscar for greatest fake woman, girlfriend, wife goes to.
And then she gonna be like, get out.
Yeah.
Get out of my house.
I got my own house. You can help me out.
I'm gonna read some comments, y'all.
You can get up out of here.
Sydney says she got her own thing. That's why I love her, Miss Independent. How you block? Can you block anybody? I'm playing. I appreciate you showing up and giving input. Tanya said, appreciate you showing up, Tanya. She said, providing for a woman shouldn't be only financial. I appreciate that. And Teresa Lewis said, ego often gets in the way of building a strong relationship. And it does. At a point, some people don't get past that point. I think ego plays a big part in young men and young women. You're still worried about what other people think and how other people may feel about your situation. Once you mature, you don't give a damn about what anybody outside the house feels.
And I think that's one of the biggest deals. You have two immature people in a relationship with a very mature responsibility. You have the lives of young people in your hands who you're supposed to set this example for, but you are not confident. You're not at a level that you are okay with you, that you can really be okay being Kevin every day. You know, you are bringing on the different personalities, the trying to impress, the whatever it is, the insecurities. And so I think that's the big deal with relationships, not really working.
Right. A lot of ego, like she said, a lot of ego gets in the way.
Right. And then you always, you say outside, people giving their input and their opinion, but it's always the one that doesn't have anybody that has the most thing to say.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that. I got a quote on somebody saying that too. I'm glad I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna read a few comments again. JD said, "If y'all are a team, you learn each other strengths and weaknesses and build a plan." I appreciate that. That's 100. Right. Appreciate that, cuz he said either you a giver or a taker. He said one team. That's how it should be. One team.
One team.
And Coretta said it's more than financial. I love that I don't have to take my car to get it fixed. I don't have to worry about fixing appliances in my home. My husband does all of that, and it makes, I gotta move down some so I can see what she said. It makes my life much easier, and I think that's part of being a man, responsibility. But a lot of these guys don't learn how to do that stuff. Right. It's still your responsibility. You pay to get it done.
Do women even like that?
What?
That
the handyman?
Oh, baby, I'm gonna take your car to get the oil change.
Yes.
Oh, baby, I'm gonna take your car to get the. You got a flat tire. Let me take the.
Yes, and you have to remember if you're dealing with a woman. A lot of times you got a girl that you're dealing with, and a woman appreciates a man, and I think that we attract more of what we are than what we want. You can say what you want, but really, if you are insecure, you're going to get insecure. If you don't know where you're going, you're going to get Miss not knowing where she's going to. And so you're going to have a problem. So if you are walking in that confidence and you know who you are, then you normally are going to attract, what you are. And if you get the wrong thing, it can't stick, it can't stay, right, because you're too different. And so that's what happens.
Yeah, I think sometimes people they want to be they want companionship, and they're willing to take less.
Yeah, we compromise, settle,
lower their standards and stuff. And I think with men, they do that with attraction. We'll look.
It's all about the physical attraction. And it's
like,
sometimes.
When she can't cook, so what? We could go out and eat.
Yeah.
Then after a while, that get old. You be like, man, why you don't know? You don't even know how to cook.
And then it's like noodles. What? You know what I'm saying?
You start saying, but then it's like at first it didn't matter the first couple of years and stuff, but then after that physical wears down, then it's like, damn, man. Then you talking to your man, her ass don't. Her daddy, they should have named her Dozen. She doesn't clean, she doesn't cook, she doesn't wash,
she doesn't do anything. Man. So
they should have called her 12.
Get out my house.
And we have somebody named Brittany Grady that said, great points. I appreciate you showing up, Brittany. And JD said, if you both have the basics when you meet, you have enough to start over if it didn't work out. I appreciate that. That's true. You could be Miss Independent, and I'm not latching on. You could tell me, now if I don't have no place to go,
I'm gonna be everything you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like,
I'm gonna cut the grass. I'm gonna paint.
I'm like, Mike, man, you come. Nah, man, I gotta cook, man. I'm baking cookies. What?
She gonna put me out.
Oh man, you know, cause you know, man, if I don't bake these,
Michael, get off the phone. I gotta go, man.
All right, man, peace. And it's like, you know, that type of person is,
But,
you know, nah.
That's true, man. You got. I mean, as a man, you got to have your own anyway. If she got her own, you got your own. Then y'all should be building something together and come to the point that one of y'all be renting y'all house out, or that'll be the kids' house or whatever. Y'all discuss that and build. It's all about building between you two and building outside of you two. And I mean, like yours. Financially, y'all start building something together. Y'all got to have some kind of plan. Start doing
I
stuff.
think that people should have a philosophy of their relationship, and it shouldn't be based on society standards. It really is personal and intimate. Just like we were saying, you really should be talking about how our life is going to look when we're together. Right. And one of the big things I think is respect, and that sometimes get overlooked, I feel, on both sides, and nobody's perfect. But for women, you really need to let a man know how you feel about certain things, because men do things, and even in our new generation with social media, you can have women get upset if a guy like another woman's post or picture. She puts something up there, and then I'm not talking to you for days. I'm mad because you have said you click like or put a heart or a smiley face. Things that to me are very trivial and insignificant, but now we have this social media platform.
That's insecurity.
And yes, but is it okay? Is it okay? I'm saying that still has to be your conversation, because that can be problematic for your relationship. Okay, you're inboxing such and such, and you're liking her, and you don't talk about that, and you don't know that's problematic.
Right, and then we start saying that they're emotional. But I say this to someone. I'm not gonna say who, but it was like, man, she always doing this. She's always going through my phone. She's always trying to do this. She always bitching and moaning about this. Like, she insecure. And I say, well, do you make her feel secure? I say, if she's insecure and you doing everything to make her feel secure, then that's on her. But if you're not doing everything to make her feel secure, then she's going to be like that.
Infidelity breeds insecurity. If you are secretly doing this phone thing, and whenever she comes in, you got it on silent, you facing it down, and that's then a woman may already be feeling some type of way. For me, I'll have that conversation. What's up with you in this phone? Like you hiding. That would be me. I'm gonna ask because I just want to know. But I'm not gonna check your phone because I don't want to check your phone. I don't have to ask you questions that I feel like I know the answer to. If I feel like it's disrespectful or it's some, I trust my instincts, and I'm like, okay.
Don't some women bring that insecurity into a relationship anyway?
Yeah, they do.
People are insecure. Guys will, like, y'all still have the roles or the pride, the ego, whichever way we're calling it, that you can't say that you don't have a problem with me talking to guys online, or guys liking my pictures, or saying comments, because you guys can't show that might be weak. But
not me. I'd be like, man, 14 dudes like my woman picture. That means she ain't no gas face. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna sit back.
That's all confidence to me.
One of my girlfriends said that her guy said, you need to get off of Instagram or something like that, because these guys were, was liking her photo or something. Right. Instead, and she was telling me that she wanted him to just affirm it, like, yeah, and that's my, and that's my girl. You know what I'm saying?
And what about her responsibility in doing that? I mean, like, if my thing is like, if you got a woman or a man and he walks out and women are coming all up to him, or men are coming up to her or saying things to her, then the first thing she could say, yeah, my man love it too.
But is that the same? Do you feel like that's the same as people putting comments on a picture on the social media?
I mean, cause,
as if we went out and somebody came up and said, the guy said,
right.
"Oh, you look nice."
You could put the
whatever.
comment on the picture too. Like somebody could say, "Damn, damn girl, you fine." Mm-hmm. Yeah, my husband loved me.
Right.
So that's gonna kick. Like I'm not entertaining any of that stuff.
Right.
Or you ain't got to comment it. If they comment, you could comment to everybody else that says, "Oh, like girl, you do it, girl." Whatever women be saying, "Are you gorgeous?" And you saying, "Thank you, so and so." Thank you. Then some clown say something, you just ignore it, skip. "Oh, thank you, so and so." Like, dude, I ain't trying to hear that.
All right.
You know. But if he's insecure, if now, what kind of pictures are you posting? You just posting a picture, your face, or you sitting up there showing your body off or whatever? Then,
right. Are you you have to take your responsibility in that too.
And then you have to understand who you with.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, like, hey, because that he gonna say something. If he's saying something, he ain't comfortable with it. So what? What's more important, your relationship with him or your likes on social media?
Some people, they be liking my likes on social media.
Yeah. But also, the problem really is stemming from something that doesn't have anything to do with the picture.
Right.
And so you're gonna have to really know who you're with. Like Kevin said, because, for example, what if I just lost a lot of weight, or and I'm thinking that I'm feeling good about myself, so I put this picture out and people are saying something, but you gained a lot of weight and you don't feel so good right now. So is it coming from us not working this out together, or we both are in the gym, we're both doing this, or if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is the real problem? Is it me? Is it the comments on the picture, or is it the fact that you don't like that I had a glow up and you haven't yet?
All right. Let me let me read some comments, because I'm falling behind on that. JD said, lots of women make the son the man of the house over any man who tries to come around. We can put food on the table and pay the bill, but no discipline the children. And that's a problem. And I think that's a problem for that man to get up out of that situation.
Right.
That's how I say it like that. Sydney said, I'll always respect anyone that respects my mother. I appreciate that. Brittany said, yep, Sydney Jones. And KD said, kids get 3 choices: the Army, college, or Salvation Army at 18 years old. And he said, Salvation Army, wow. He said, not really, but raising them to be independent instead of dependent, to make their own life and family, not to stay at home forever. I appreciate that comment. Teresa said, with a blended family, the kids are always going to be part of you, and your mate may not be. So your kids gonna always be there, but that other person may not.
Yes, and see,
if you kicking your kids out because that woman or man is saying that, then all of a sudden that man and woman leave you, then you're gonna be like, y'all coming for Thanksgiving?
No, I gotta go.
And see, that's why
I appreciate that comment.
I'm with Teresa on that, because you have that. I had to go home. I was married and had kids, and I've had to go home. Like I had my grandmother and took my husband, my kids, because things happen in life and you got to get a restart, or you just need, to stay for a little while or whatever. And I always want to have that, that open, or that available to my kids. If they need help in life, if they, not for them to feel like they can't go back home, because they're 18, I don't know. I mean, I don't, that's not a problem for me, because my kids can always come back and,
But that's stuff that y'all gotta deal with that in the beginning of the relationship, to know how important is family, and to what extent do you mean important? Hey, I got kids. My kids gonna come, and I mean, I gotta not say stuff. But I know somebody asked me that one time, like, would you jeopardize? What if you're in a relationship? would you be doing this? Yeah. Like if my life, yeah. For my kids, yeah. That's more important because I won't be able to live if I don't do something.
And if you are in a relationship means we're going to work this together. It should not be a I and a me and, and your kids came back again. No, if we're together, then the kids have a situation and we're going to help them,
Right. It's a team, like he said.
Yeah,
it's a team.
so I don't.
And Jeanette Wilson said, right on, let it play out. Brittany said, I just want my mommy happy, my mama happy. JD said, food's gold.
That's what my oldest daughter.
She said, with blended family and kids, I always be a part. JD said, true, mutual respect in the home. Aisha, I appreciate you showing up. She said, hey. And Jeanette said, absolutely. I'm sorry I'm reading this late because we've been yapping.
It's not yapping, but
we love that.
Yes.
Hell yeah, we like that. I guess they talking about a question I was asked about being a handyman. I think Coretta said something about her husband fixing it. You said something about getting her tires done, stuff done. She said we love that, and she said y'all should do this often. Yeah, that's nice. And communication, honest, open communication is very important. That's Anjanette. And trust issues. That's what JD said. Tanya said, Coretta, I'm just wondering if your husband has a brother, cousin, uncle with the same values. I'm just asking for a friend. She's asking for a friend. So dude gonna be tuning in. What the hell you at?
We gonna be having a dating game over here. And Coretta's husband can do a whole smart home too. So he is pretty handy.
Tanya's man gonna be like, I ain't doing. Why don't you go ask Coretta to find somebody to do that for you?
Your time flat.
Well, I mean, okay, there is a new phenomenon that I read somewhere about sharing men. I was like,
oh yeah, I mean,
did you see that?
Yeah,
no, it was about like,
I know,
girls have to share. They have to just be understanding because there's a shortage, and I'm like, I would never get on that bandwagon.
Yeah, that's that's
a whole other show, right?
Tyra said, I appreciate you showing up. She said, just said this to my son. Exactly. Security versus insecurity in a relationship. And Anjanette said, if a woman brings something to you as a man, listen to understand and not to respond defensively. I appreciate that. I think that's a big issue that a lot of us have with communication. Because it's like, man, she complaining about something again, and then you just on the edge, because when you complaining about the toilet seat or anything that we feel is insignificant, then you have a real issue. It just seems like you just complaining. So maybe if women didn't just complain about every little thing that happened, toilet seats, stuff like that.
Well, if we didn't fall in and drown, we would complain.
Whatever.
And that's what happens.
It's like your man left the toilet seat up and the woman fell in, and it's like she was swimming in the toilet. It's like it ain't. I can see where it could be. I can see where it could become an issue for a woman. Maybe sit down and maybe don't have enough to, sit on the seat without it being down. Maybe get a little wet, right? But I mean,
I think it was like, metaphorically speaking, that things that you think are simple are very deep for us, are bigger. We don't really know. If I'm telling you this is a problem for me, then it means more than you want to take it.
So what if I go in and I say, man, the damn toilet seat is up. I mean down. I need it up.
Yeah.
Damn it, why don't you leave the toilet
seat up? But if that really means enough, if I love you and I care about you,
if I'm leaving it up and you leaving it down, ain't that just man knowing and women knowing that, you know what, she needed down?
But it's really that, like I said, the toilet seat is just kind of.
I didn't mean to get it. That's
just kind of not. That's not the real issue. It's really caring about what bothers me. Okay. That's really what it is. If I say that this is a problem for me, then it's not like a nag. If it's something that sincerely hurt me, or and you're making light of it, again, it's not.
It's about just
Yeah,
listening.
you're not really. You're not hearing me. You're not
know?
hearing me.
JD said, without trust and respect, y'all may as well call it quits. We don't go through each other's personal stuff. Whatever you do in the dark will come in
Come
the
to the
light.
light, yo.
Yeah, and if there, you
He
have
said,
to have
"No
a
woman or
foundation.
man is blind. We all have eyes and attractions."
Who said that?
JD.
We all have eyes.
And attractions. Things that we're attracted to.
Oh.
He talking about like liking stuff and
Okay.
I mean, that's true, but that doesn't.
We
mean
all
that
have
has
eyes.
to-
Yeah.
yeah, you see something you like, you gonna look at it, you might like it.
Oh, okay.
Cause see,
It's like if you see a guy, he all ripped up and he all, posing in his Speedo or whatever, you might like the picture, right?
If that's something I like, if that's something that.
yeah,
Would it be an issue in your relationship
What?
if you like something,
if you seen, they have like the fireman calendar. Let me just use that as an example, and they have like all of these pictures, and you liking and stuff, and if your mate say, "Hey man, I don't want you liking all of this stuff, man. You got a dad bod right here. Why you liking all of this stuff, man? It's starting to bother me." What would you say? Would you be like, "Oh, it's just a post"?
Oh no, I would leave it alone. I mean, because to me, I would respect him that much. If I'm in a relationship and something like that, I can have it or leave it. I don't need to. If I have what I need in a man, then anything that I'm trying to get from another man that bothers my man is something that I can do without.
You trying to get what from your?
That's anything. If my man is telling me that bothers him, and it's like something like that, I don't have to.
I think where the problem comes in a lot of times is if I'm telling you it's something that bothers me, and it's a conversation, and you telling me something that bothers you, and it's no conversation, that we don't need to have a conversation, that you want me to just correct that. I think that becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, I've been telling you this, or see, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm the type of guy. Say, for instance, I'm in this hypothetical relationship, and and say, girl got wallpaper or whatever on her phone, and it's of some rapper with his shirt off and showing his abs off and all this stuff. I'm going to say, okay, that's cool. So now that door is open. I'm not going to sit there and say, well, that bothered me. I'm not saying it's going to bother me. But I'm like, okay, cool. Now I got this person on my phone from this magazine, and she like, bam. I'm like, then all of a sudden it's like, well, we could do this. You open that door up. You didn't say, hey, does this bother you, or you want me to voice it? Now it don't bother me. But then if that don't bother me, if it's okay for you to do that, then it should be okay for me to do
This
it.
is goose and gander kind of thing.
Would you say that it bothered you though?
Goose and
No,
gander.
I'm saying I'm not even gonna say it bothers me. But what I'm saying is, because it don't bother me. But if you could do this, then I mean, because I might not be doing this because I'm thinking, well, she gonna be bothered by that. It wouldn't bother me if she liking somebody's pictures, but if she's liking other people's pictures, it don't bother me. Then I can like other people's pictures too.
But
Then it
that
can't
would
come
just
back to be
escalate.
like, no, because I don't have a problem with you doing it. But if you doing it, then you shouldn't have a problem with me doing it.
Right.
So it's just like I'm gonna give you
Right.
another totally. If you could go out and have girls' night, but it bothers you if I go out and kick it with Mike. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't like Mike, or you think Mike is a womanizer, whatever. But like, I'm not picking your friend that you could go out with. You just telling me you got girls' night, and y'all going out and y'all hanging out to 2 a.m. That's cool. Then I could have guys' night, and I can hang out to 2 a.m. too.
But if I already have that assurity in you, that trust and that confidence, then it doesn't matter. It goes back to like what JD said. If you don't have the trust already, you don't have that foundation, and not to bring the church in, but the Bible has a lot of good examples of ways to trust and love one another. And if we don't have any type of principles or foundation, then there's always room to make the one feel
But you're saying
insecure.
I'm saying that one person. That's if you don't. It's cool for you to stay out, but you don't want him staying out. Now, if
Well, it shouldn't be. That should
that's
not
what
be
I'm
a
saying.
double
That's
standard.
what I'm saying.
Because
just because it don't bother me, and if I'm doing something and it doesn't bother her, but if she does something and it bothers me, then that's me, because then I shouldn't be doing the same thing then.
Right.
Well, and also you have a reason, because a lot of times we're not looking at the real elephant in the room. You may have had a relationship before. She may have gotten that phone call. You know what I mean? That phone call.
No,
And so
I feel
why?
but I don't know
Why she feel funny? You got that phone call before, so that thing really takes
the
a
phone call. You know what she talking about, man?
I'm gonna assume
Okay.
she's saying if dude is out and Sydney's out or Brittany's out,
They call
and
her
they
and say,
see
"Mom,"
dude with another,
with his cousin or something, his long lost female cousin, or
yeah, but see, they're not gonna see it like that.
I
They
know.
gonna see it as he's at
They
he's
gonna
at
send you a
bar
video.
with another woman hugged up and stuff like that. That's the
Well, actually, I was thinking the female called the phone. I was old school because I forgot about the personal cell phones. I may have picked up his phone and it was a female saying,
Or it was
"Hey, babe,"
Pizza Hut.
Yeah,
It said Pizza Hut, and it was like, "Hey, babe."
Jake from State Farm.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Sydney said it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. It's usually how most relationships of this generation are, one-sided.
deep.
Coretta said, as long as your man or woman is showing you and complimenting you behind closed doors, I don't need my husband to comment on my picture. He know what he got. I appreciate that comment.
Right.
That's secure relationship.
And that's a secure relationship. That means y'all both know, he's not worried about her being a slut or whatever else she could be, her sleeping around. But if he doesn't know,
then he shouldn't be there.
has
He shouldn't be in
some
there.
insecurities, then her putting the pictures up and Jack saying,
I mean,
"Ooh,
she putting her application out. That's what I'm saying. So
right.
it's like y'all shouldn't even be in that no more. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see that. And Coretta said, "Man, that's not even a big deal. I don't care about no toilet seat up or down." I hear you, CC. That's what I'm talking about. Preach to
what he
him.
gonna do?
Preach to him.
See, the
Preach.
toilet seat is gonna be up. She gonna walk in the bathroom.
She
She
gonna
gonna
fall
see the
in.
toilet. No. She not just gonna blindly sit down. She gonna turn around. Oh, the toilet seat is up. Let me let it down before I sit down.
Yeah. What's wrong with looking? I mean, what if the lid is down? You just gonna sit anyway and, nah.
I don't know. Maybe that's when you just wake up, you just backing up. I don't know.
And Anjanette said, but delivery is everything. Baby, think about me when you use the bathroom. I fell in last night. So that's what that video was when she was splashing around in the toilet and swimming. Okay, I'm sorry. Sydney said same things as saying a man is going to be a man.
No.
Oh yeah, we really have to get beyond some of those little sayings, because that is kind of shunning responsibility.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, and especially today, we want to use that, and we have a lot of reinforcers: the music, the lifestyles, the friends, the peer pressure, but it's rare that a young person, is there yet.
Right.
They kind of have to go through that to get to that confidence, that security, where they even trust themselves, So that's a developmental type of And it's also a moral thing. It depends on your own values. You can have values at a young age, and we sometimes want to dismiss or make excuses for people not having values.
Okay, I appreciate that. Now I want to hit a few quotes. I was reading some of the comments. I know JD said don't bother him at all. And City said, you being okay with your significant other doing something shows your trust in them. What about our trust in y'all? And somebody named Haji Hodge said,
Oh, that's my little cousin.
she said,
Haji.
I see you, cousin. And trying to go down. And Sydney was explaining coming to you as a woman phone call.
Yeah.
And the day said squat or fall in the toilet. Okay, now I'm all right.
Well, we do have those strong thighs. You know, we got them strong.
I just turn around and put the seat down.
No, that not talking logic, man. We talking emotions and you talking
Okay.
logic. You can't be bringing that in there, Mr. Spot. Come on now, you can't be getting
Okay,
logic.
well that's a good point to that men, the Mars and the Venus type thing.
Yeah.
All right,
that's-
I'm gonna leave the seat down, but I'm gonna go in the bathroom. Okay, I don't feel like picking up the seat, so I'm just gonna go.
right.
Oops, I left something right there.
Yeah.
My bad. You go sit down. Oh, you left a little pond on the seat. Well,
Yeah.
you said leave it down. I'm trying to be considerate. Just
You talking logic.
sorry, man. I just had to
Yeah.
say that.
So I mean, the revolution,
Oh, they
the
must have been
revolution,
on you about
the
that
revolution
toilet
won't,
seat, Mike.
will not be televised. But I'm saying, so
They've been on
you know, that's the thing. That's the alternative. You know, we just gonna go in blind. You don't even turn to look. Just go in blind.
Okay, let's
Let's get off this toilet seat stuff. 'Cause we got some pertinent stuff.
Bringing
We
it
got some
back.
pertinent
I
stuff.
want to know, from you two guys, how do you define manhood, and you know who is showing our young men how to be men? Are they walking out and still blind and feeling the same? You know, trying to feel their way, like you said you had to, Mike. You know, because many of our problems as a society and a culture is due to absent fathers, you know, and the male position, the male responsibility, the male example is so significant to bringing up confident boys and girls. And we don't have a lot of their presence, and we don't really, you know, I think we're being trained to make it seem like that's not significant. Like, okay, we don't need them there, but I think for us to thrive, we do. The male presence is so necessary to bring up strong, confident children, both sexes.
So as far as that definition of manhood, is there a right answer? I don't think so. Manhood is, I'm trying to think of how to say it. I think manhood is listening, learning, and adapting to things. Did I say listening? Yeah. Listening, adapting, and understanding what needs to be done and how it should be done. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes
It
sense.
makes
I mean,
sense.
those are key things, I think.
Yeah, because I was never taught how a man is supposed to be or what manhood is or was. I was taught to be independent, and I am. But and like I said, I listened, you know, learned certain things, and that thought's not coming together the way that I want. But I know you said something about young men. So you know my sons, right? You know my sons are respectable, caring, considerate, well-spoken young men. That can do for themselves and also for whoever they're with. They've been taught that.
Right. That's been instilled in them by you.
Right. But as far as a manhood definition, is there really one?
I think
the blanket manhood definition is you the man, you're strong, you can't show weakness, you can't be vulnerable, you always have to be hard, you can't like flinch, something happens, it's like, oh man, that's you can't show emotion, you can't be emotional. I think that's what that blanket manhood definition is. But there's things outside of that you can do to be a man or be a better man.
Yeah, I think that unscripted definition that you're speaking of is very problematic for our young men today, because that makes them inconsiderate many times of the other person, and vice versa. If you're following that script as a man, and it's all about me, I can't show no weakness, I can't be crying over no girl, or letting you know how I feel. So then it can be problematic when we're asking them to be in a relationship, when we're speaking of relationships.
All right. Manhood. This is right up my bowling alley.
Okay.
So I think manhood, you hit the nail on the head when you said that something that's lacking in our community and our households. Even with a man in the household, manhood is missing in many of our households.
Right.
Because it's an ambiguous title. Mm-hmm. We have to define that title, and it's going to take men to define that title and set an example of that title to our young boys. And it does. If I had a house full of just daughters, I still have to show manhood to them, to know what it is that I expect them, or what they should expect in a man.
Yes.
I don't care how independent you are.
Right.
And a lot of these guys sit up there and talking about a woman, or these women don't have respect. And my thing is, do you give them something to respect? Are you demanding respect, or you commanding respect? Commanding respect goes further than demand, because when you command it, you show it, and they see it in your action. It goes without saying. A lot of things, my daughter would say, my dad's not going to like that. And we haven't even had that conversation about that, because she already know. Or it may be something that I have to say. My daughter's not going to be sitting up changing a tire if it's a man sitting in that car.
Right.
It's things certain in what I'm saying. The ambiguity of the definition is a problem that we see play out in our culture. This is why a lot of young men are doing the things that they're doing, and a lot of the young women are doing the things that they're doing. This is why the gang problem is so prevalent. It's nobody there showing these boys what it takes to be a man and defining what manhood is. Like I said, you got to provide and you got to protect. That's the first things. You got to be able to provide for yourself, first of all. I can't provide. If I can't provide for myself, I'm not going to be able to provide for anyone else. Right. So, and a woman should see that in me. If she say, like, hell, I'm a bum, what I'm going to do? Bowing down to a bum. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to happen. So I got to be able to take care of myself to a point that a woman would want me to want to be welcome into my life. I can't be a bum and be wanting a queen. You know what I'm saying? Why is she going to stoop? Or like you say, that independent woman that got all these things. I'm not going to feel adequate having somebody take care of me. I don't want you to take care of me. You could have a financial stability. That's fine. But I still got to bring something. And maybe I got to step my game up before we get too serious in this if you're the woman that I want. You got to be able to provide for yourself. And you got to be able to protect yourself. Then you got to branch that out to whoever's going to be with you. That woman and her family. Once you reach that mature point, you got to branch that out to your community. And to be a leader in your household, that's manhood. You can't be a leader in your household if you're doing drugs, if you're cheating on your wife, if you're setting a bad example. You making a mockery of her in public. That's not part of being a man, and that's not part of being a man in your house or being a man in your community, because your community got to look at you too and say that's a good dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think we have different definitions of that. I think that's problematic.
That's why we have these issues.
Yes.
That's why we have these issues,
Yes.
because I could say a man within myself, and if I could go to another brother and say, man, let's talk about this. You ever had these type of problems? He'll have more respect for me if I'm just fronting and putting on the front. Because all the lies, what I was talking about earlier about the lies, men put on lies because we act like everything is cool when everything is not cool. When you get with your woman, you may talk about this or you may talk about that. You should feel comfortable with her to be able to discuss anything,
Right.
and not feel vulnerable. It's nothing that I'm gonna discuss with a woman that's gonna make me feel vulnerable, because I'm not vulnerable to nothing. And me talking about emotions or anything is not gonna make me feel vulnerable.
Or weak.
Yeah, it's
You know
not
what
gonna
I'm
make.
saying?
I'm not gonna feel weak about anything. What'll make me feel weak is if I let myself down and don't protect my family when I felt I should. And that time hasn't come yet. I haven't cowered out to anything, so I'm not gonna feel weak. And that's gonna be the pressure I'm putting on myself, not anybody else. Now, the other lie is that what women in society give, that women are these pristine, sugar and spice and everything nice. We got to get past that. I grew up with that. When girls are pretty, sugar and spice and everything nice, and women don't do, they angelic type of. And,
That's true. That's all true.
And but see, once when we
like
start
to go ahead
socializing and you start getting past all of the BS and the lies, because they placate out on TV, women don't,
We don't drink. We don't cuss.
you don't hunger for sex, things like that. That's BS.
We do not desire sex.
If it happens, I'm saying, like what I'm saying, the lies that they put up for women, like people have these lies about their mother or things like that. They think like they're perfect. Dad be like, pull my finger, damn dad, but it's like that image. I'm saying, to get past the lies. You get the real up front. When you move in with somebody, you get the real. Women are, whatever.
Right.
So, but I'm saying that's the manhood thing.
I'm laughing, man,
they're
because
human.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So, but I'm saying that's the manhood, and we gotta find a way to translate that to our younger men, translate that to our younger women, because women are settling. These young girls, like your daughter said, in this generation, they are settling for these knuckleheads that ain't being men, and it's being loosely the fabric is being frayed. It's constantly falling apart. So it's our responsibility to show these young men how to be men. I wasn't shown how to be a man except looking at the example of my dad. And he had imperfections, whatever, and I had imperfections as a dad, and that's why I fell apart. But we got to put that together, come up with a way to translate manhood to our kids.
Right. To our boys and our girls.
Yeah.
Because we have other things teaching them that. We have, we're referring to them as B's and eight and, whatever. And, they're trying to live up to that, thinking that this extra sexuality defines, what gets a man. As long as I wear this short and I wear this exposing, because a man is saying all he wants is some. Yeah. And so we're thinking that's a man, because in a lot of the young people's mind, that's what defines manhood. Okay, how many women I can get, how many notches.
That's always been like that. It's always been like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you think of the first hip hop song that we knew, Sugar Hill Gang. You
It
know?
wasn't like that. That
It
was
was. You,
hip hop.
But what was they saying? I bust her out. Clark Kent taking Lois Lane, taking his woman.
But if they cut
But Master G was like taking.
You really can't.
See, it was real politically
If
correct.
they don't
They
do
weren't-
something, but I'm saying that. But was like, hey, she ain't putting out. You got to get out my car.
Yeah, but
Is that what they said? I didn't know that's what they said.
But see,
it was.
I was thinking about the chicken at the friend's house.
yeah, but see, I'm saying
That's all
you looking at
that's what I
Master G.
remember.
You thinking of Mike? What's his name?
See, I was misinterpreting
Big
it.
Hank and all this stuff like Super Sperm and all this stuff
And
like
they
that.
playing basketball. You know, the other
know,
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
We
but see,
had
that was
good basketball.
different though, man. It was. I'm saying like this. It was coded differently.
coded
then.
differently, yeah.
Now is.
Because you could open the envelope is open. You can say
Yeah.
whatever you want.
It's
how you wanna say it.
degrading.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
listened to a song. And
Totally degrading.
And he was like, yeah. And I busted 5 minutes. Then I started eating her out. And then she started. I was like,
Yeah,
damn.
Well, we have the WAP. You know, it comes back. You know,
Yeah.
the women are. So, is it like, are we both trying to be guys? You know, what's really going on? That, like Kevin was saying, it's not ladylike, you know, for us. But now, what's the difference? You know, the women are just as explicit, and the guys are very much. But then it's no respect both ways. And I'm not trying to bash music. That's not. But it's
It
about
plays out in our
respect
music.
itself.
Yeah.
It's a reflection.
The light it reflects what's going on.
And I think women had a definition of what it was to be ladylike. And I think people just shun that definition more now. Like, the hell with being ladylike.
Right.
You know, I'm a bad bitch. You know, so I think that's something that falls. Now I'm gonna read a few comments. Now we only gonna go like 5 more minutes because I'm gonna ask because we way over, man.
No wonder my stomach is growling. Gotta get me something.
And Jeanette said, "Good, very good explanation, Michael. When you're talking about manhood." JD said, "It took what I felt was good knowledge for my life along with my experiences. I also learned from others' mistakes and used what I felt worked for me, but things were different back then." I appreciate the comment. Coretta said, "Yes, because my daddy set that example, and it is, we're all girls in the household." And she said, "My." JD said, "As I got older, realized how toxic a lot of things I was taught growing up, how toxic a lot of things were that I was taught growing up." She said, "A father in the home is very vital in the family, just as well as a mother who is a nurturer." I appreciate that. He said, "Facts." And Brittany said, "Nice." Sharon said, "We have to get away from Western European standards. They are working hard to keep our black families broken." Coretta said, "Well explained, Kevin. I appreciate it." She said, "Man, we grew up in our young days on Too Short."
I like Too Short.
Too short.
It gets a woman a certain kind of man. And the quote I wanted to get into, it was 2 things. One thing Kevin Samuel said, y'all know how I feel about that dude. He said that single women create single women. And what he was saying was that if you're in a relationship as a woman, we already know the saying of your girlfriend's gonna make you single because they single, and you know you come to them about your man and they're gonna be like, leave him alone. Mm-hmm. And he gave some song, I think In Vogue said about something they said in a song. I don't remember what song he brought up, but it was something about your girlfriends telling you, giving you advice about your. And he said his thing was single women create single women, like listening to your girlfriend. I disagree with that because you could give examples of other songs where Shirley, when she call up on the phone, you know, stuff like that. Woman to woman, you know, because that's what I automatically thought. But another quote that it said, "Men stay single because they can get a relationship. They can get relationship perks without relationship commitment."
Hey man, I'm gonna comment on that Kevin Samuel thing. So it's not about a song; it's about reality. So, you know, you got the You got the woman that has, you know, the good man.
Mm-hmm.
They may have an argument, and you're gonna call Betty or whatever. Betty's bitter.
Bitter Betty. We're calling Bitter
Right.
Betty.
Bitter Betty with the mustache. Go ahead.
Right. She's
Can't get a man. Can't get a
bitter.
man.
She's mad at the world, you know, and that's the one that's gonna always tell the one that has a good man, but just going through some things, just leave him. So that statement that Kevin Samuel said, it may be true. I think he just kind of threw the song in there just to kind of say, okay, he's very opinionated, of course, you know, as we know or knew, but that was spot on. I think that was spot on.
That's because you can relate to it. And, you know, whenever you can relate to it, that makes it. But if you have a woman that's really entertaining a lot of negative energy, it's going to be problematic for your relationship.
Right.
Not you, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I as a woman have all these negative friends, my relationship is going to, you know,
suffer because you listen to
definitely,
all of them.
definitely.
She
But
shouldn't
you
be
wouldn't
outside
wanna
of your
be with
house.
me,
Right.
right,
But see,
with all of that, you know, that negative energy, because it's going to play out in different ways.
yeah, but see, women, because they don't have that manhood title, see, they can go and be emotional and say what's going on around inside the house with their friends, you know, to get those opinions and negatively affect what they have at home.
Right.
Whereas me and you, oh man, my wife, man, she, man, wanted the toilet seat up or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We
You
can
can
have
leave
that
at home.
conversation, right?
Yeah.
But women can. You know what I'm saying? And they're affected differently by those negative friends.
And I think that's, but
There's
see,
no
to
peer
me,
pressure and stuff like that. You know,
that's downplaying the intellect of a woman, because a woman should know, and if she's foolish enough to listen to her friends that's always telling her to break up, then that's going to be on her, and I'm cool.
Right.
If you listening to your friends, then that's cool. Because if your friends don't know me, you
Right.
know, if you're not telling your friends all the good stuff that I do,
right.
and
Because
because
see, they friend may see all the good stuff that you do.
and I'm saying she
jealous.
should know that,
And
Yeah.
she should
inboxing
see
you.
that. She should see that.
She's messaging you.
She should see that, and then she inboxing, you know, man, yo, the girl talking bad about you, man. I don't care about toilet seats, Kevin. I just want you to know.
Yeah, I
that.
just want you to know.
She just called you, right? She just called you a knucklehead about this, you know, blah blah.
Believe me, they are there. Those
Yeah,
those
and I'm saying,
friends
but you
are
gotta
there.
be strong enough, just like a man, and I'm gonna say this too, because a woman gotta maneuver through all these knuckleheads trying to holler about what they gonna do better. She got a work boyfriend, and she gonna, I mean, if she's simple enough to be following that stuff, that energy, then you're gonna be having problems, and everything you do at home is gonna be a problem. Anything you do is gonna be a bigger problem than it need to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying, I'm not putting that on single women, because I think a lot of things that keeps women single is the things that men do also. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people out there that cheat.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
lot of people out there that stray.
Yeah, yeah.
And I seen that in a lot of family and friends and everything. People talk about they grew up in a single parent household, and how many times, what's the reason? Did that dad not give a damn, even though that dad had a son or kids, or was he just a rolling stone? I'm saying, the reason I'm saying the comment, I understand that stuff happened, but I see a bigger picture, a panoramic view of the things that has been plaguing our community as far as men attitudes. You got this girl pregnant, damn, you know, you blaming her, you're not wanting to get involved. That ain't got nothing to do with her friends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're not really ready to commit.
Right.
You ready to lay down. She laid down. That's probably her problem too. But now she done laid down with somebody that ain't ready to commit. That's a thug that want to be out in the streets, that want to hang with his boys.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the stuff he said don't happen, but don't put that women are single because of other single women, because you absolving men for the bullshit that men do to women.
Right.
That's
you
what
can
I'm
add
saying.
that on top of that.
Yeah, and
You know
I'm
what
saying, so
Yeah.
so it shouldn't be a conversation. Single women keep women single. No, I mean that's
and manhood, it can, should be applied in your walk. If you're a man, you should walk in manhood, from whatever age.
Right.
And inside the house, outside the house, with a woman. I think that we were talking earlier about examples. If she is sleeping with 5 different guys, you don't have to be number 6 because of how you walk. You know what I'm saying? You could say, no, and you're not going to be another one to keep her at this level.
Right.
A man, just to see someone walking in manhood and in confidence is uplifting to a woman or to another man.
Because I think women are I have women tell me that, like, when they saw me with my woman, that then they try to hit on me, and I'm like, you just saw me with my woman. Why you? It's like, and that's a challenge to them.
Same thing for men.
Yeah, or men don't care whether you single or not. You got a man, or how long you had that problem? What problem is that? You with the wrong man,
But is that a man? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
is
that's
that,
what
like
I'm
you
saying.
said, men don't care. So is that that's
he a man? That's not manhood. No, that's not manhood.
What is that?
That's just young man trying. But see, that's what I'm talking about. It's a maturity part. That's a young man. Because see, I got that down. When you only worried about yourself, you're not even worried about the next man. You worried about yourself.
And you can justify what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You could justify.
It's like $4.50, and 50 minutes over. I'm not paying no overtime. I gave y'all shirts. That's it.
Oh, Kelly gave us very nice blueprint shirts. No wonder.
And water.
And water. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
We
y'all have anything y'all want to close with? Start with you, Mike.
No, I just want to say, I appreciate you and having this, this platform, to have positive and knowledgeable conversations about our people, on certain platforms. We being bashed and by white, black, but
women.
Yeah, but it's like when I listen to your podcast, man, it's always it's enlightening.
All right, I appreciate that, man.
And damn, man, I didn't know you stayed like right here, man. And we chopped it up the other day, man. It was it's very positive and stuff, and it's not a lot of people that you can just have those types of conversations with and stuff like that, man.
Right. I appreciate that.
I appreciate, man, I ain't gonna be a stranger. I got your number, but I ain't gonna be a stranger. You know what I'm saying? We right down the street, man.
All right.
But I appreciate you, man. And I also want to add, a clothing line is called Gym is Fit. It's my clothing line. I created it because
I thought it's Gym is Life.
Gym is Life, man.
See, now, so you can't get on me about calling you Michael Williams.
Oh, man, that's something different, though. Man. That's something different.
That's a new idea that you have. But it's coming.
The brand is Gym is Life.
Yeah.
It was created because of how the gym helped me through certain things I was going through in life. Better, and everything's gonna roll out soon.
Give them the website again, man.
So my number to contact me, if you are interested in merchandise, shirts, hats, beanies, sweats. I want sweats right now. Leggings, workout tops. The number is 210-373-0459. The website is gymislife, one word, .mj@gmail.com.
Okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate the words also, man. And I'm gonna tell you, just anytime you want to come on, man, just let me know.
Yeah.
I extend that, man. You know, we have good intellectual conversations on here. I extend that to many people that want to have conversations. And you got anything you want to leave with, Sonia?
I'd like to thank you for allowing me to come and express myself and join into this conversation. And as I always notice, Kevin has a lot of books, and I think that that is a big part of us getting better, doing better in any facet of our life, manhood, womanhood, excelling in your own business, is to be open to learn. And I love the fact that you're always reading, so you're not just coming with a ego approach. You actually have something to back your presentation and whenever you're providing your opinion. Or so I thank you for that.
All right, I appreciate that. And we have Mrs. Wilson was correcting you also on your Gym is Life, and she put emphasis on it in all caps, like she yelled it at you. She said plug, okay. And
Yeah,
she put the number down, and she put the website down. So
yeah, that's my ace right there, man.
Okay.
She's been instrumental in actually, well, with me getting it started. You know,
Yeah.
just an idea, and she was like, "I'm gonna come pick you up." I was like, "Oh man, you finna go eat." Right. So she took me down to the courthouse, and I was like, "Hold on, man.
you going to jail?
There's something I ain't know about. I got a warrant or something, you know." And she took me and she paid for me to register the name. So it's like, all right, I got this name, so I need to do something with it. So I started coming up with ideas and designs and stuff. I got more designs coming. I have a photo shoot at Global Fitness on WW White
Okay.
on December the 11th, and I'm going to showcase some different designs and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
I mean, I've done a lot of things with it. I've actually sold about 20 units in like a month and a half.
Okay.
I wasn't even expecting to, you know, it's only growth from here, but she's been real instrumental in everything happening. The person that does the pressing and stuff, she introduced me. Ethel Turner, she does all my pressing and stuff, and she takes the ideas from here and she puts it on the clothes and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my ace right there.
Okay. All right. And I appreciate everyone that showed up, all the comments, and I appreciate y'all too. Like I say, anytime y'all want to come on, y'all got a topic y'all want to hit, just let me know, and we could get through that. And anybody out there that want to discuss a topic or y'all have any suggestions, y'all can hit me up. And also, if you want to come on the show, just let me know. I appreciate everybody. It's Kevin Lewis on the Blueprint. Peace.
Peace.